Yeah, I just wanted to address a little situation here about the Hammonds. When Dwight was about to go to prison, I believe this was the day before, we got the High Desert Pioneer made a video from when they were doing the protest march. And it ended over here just before Hammond and the group splintered off. This was originally just a protest march there in Burns that wound up here at the Hammond's house in support of them. Like I say, just before he was going to go back to jail. And so I wanted to play this little clip. I don't know if you've seen this before, but this was what Mr. Dwight Hammond's had to say. So what he just said was, just remember that this isn't about me. This is about this country. And I guess I've been kind of wondering what he meant by that. You know, he was about to go back to jail, and then these people showed up in support of him, and he had that to say about it. And so I've kind of contemplated, well, what did he mean? It's not about him, you know. Obviously, to us, it was about him. I mean, we were trying to show support for him, but in his mind, it wasn't really about him, but about our country. So I think I've kind of stumbled on to what he meant, and maybe these other things kind of show that. So this is a map of federal public land surface and subsurface. So these are federally owned lands within our states. As you can see, outlined in red, there's a good bit of these western states that are federally owned and maintained, where you don't have rights. They own the surface rights, which is for water, and subsurface, which would be mineral rights. And what little land is left in white is constantly being crowded and seized, just like it was with the Hammonds. So there's obviously a large portion of these states, more so in the west than out here through the central and eastern parts, but a large majority of this is federally owned. And then that led into the Malheur Wildlife Refuge being taken over by Ammon Bundy and that group. And then we know what happened with that, and how that came to be, and now is ended. The occupation is over, and those folks are in jail as well. But one of the leaders here, Lavoy Finicum, who's now deceased, he was a rancher in Arizona, and he was fighting the BLM as well over land rights and his ranch. And so here's a little clip from something he had to say.
But this is beautiful land. It's a place for freedom. Freedom's worth fighting for. This land's worth fighting for. Our founding fathers never envisioned a central power holding so much control over 1/3 of the landmass. You know, over 80% of this county here is controlled by the BLM with complete legislative, executive powers whatsoever. Well, no, it's not. I'm saying no, we're not going to bow down here. This is Arizona. This is Mojave County.
And so there you go. Started out with this man, Dwight Hammond, going to jail. Wound up coming down to this man being killed, and it was all over this. So in the end, just like Mr. Dwight said, it's not about me. It's about this country. And so what will we do with our country? What's left of it here? Will we let this man remain in prison? Will we let the death of this man go in vain? Will the rest of these areas become blocks of red and all these borders just be dissolved? What is it about? What's it about for you? And when will enough be enough? Obviously, these lands continue to be taken over, and this red will wash clean from sea to shining sea. So we have to decide, when's enough enough, and when will we draw the line?